Manchester United's woeful Premier League run continues to get worse as the season progresses. The club brought in Portuguese manager Ruben Amorim in the hopes of a revival. Instead, they are only inching closer to the relegation zone. And while the pressure is mounting in the dressing room, the Manchester United setup seems to be falling apart. Players are in disarray and the manager is feeling the heat, so much so that Amorim has reportedly smashed a television in the Old Trafford dressing room. This after Manchester United's 3-1 home defeat to Brighton. Is this new manager Amorim too losing the plot? A report.
Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams, the place which has witnessed some of the most iconic moments in the sport, is slowly turning into a theatre of broken dreams. Their Premier League title hopes smashed, European competition qualifications ambition shattered, infrastructure crumbling. And now the dressing room seems to be facing the brunt physically. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim reportedly smashed a television set after his side's 3-1 home defeat to Brighton, making it 7 defeats in 15 matches under the new man at the helm, Amorim. A phase that has seen United slip to 13th position on the points table. And after that last game, the loss against Brighton, Amorim gave his team a dressing down, a rant that turned ugly with the TV getting destroyed in the process. Not sure how the Manchester United ownership will see it, because going by the Jim Ratcliffe ownership's cost-cutting methods, they only believe in results with no additional expenses. They will surely not be pleased with this outburst, but on a lighter note, they may just ask Amorim to foot the bill for the damage caused. But looks like the Portuguese manager is already paying a price for his move to Manchester United. Amorim, who's currently smashing television sets in Manchester, was smashing records in Portugal with Sporting CP, which is one of the reasons why the manager has gone from this to this. And there's more to this gloomy face. This isn't just another sad Manchester United manager who's facing the heat for the club's poor run. This is the face of a manager whose dressing room seems to be falling apart. Because right after the defeat, Amorim called this side the worst in the club's history.
We are being the worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester United. We are getting a new coach that is losing more than the last coach. Everybody here is underperforming. No matter what the circumstances, we are underperforming. And we have to accept that. I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that because we have to acknowledge that and to change that. So here we go, your headlines.
Amorim has accepted the failures of United and the flaws in his side, quite unlike his Manchester rival manager Pep Guardiola, who has blamed literally everything else on the planet. Amorim's failure has put his United job under jeopardy already. Even prominent voices, including chess world #1 Magnus Carlsen, want the manager out. The interesting thing to note here is that Amorim actually wasn't keen on joining United mid-season. He wanted to see out his stint with Sporting until the end of the season.
I wanted to stay until the end of the season, but then I was told it was not possible. It was now or never, or Manchester would go for another option. So I had 3 days to make my mind up, to make a decision that changes radically my life.
And oh yes, it has changed Amorim's life. He doesn't have his players. The Manchester United setup is still getting used to playing his style. Senior players like Marcus Rashford are going rogue because of not getting picked in the starting 11. All this has led to Amorim being clueless.
If I knew, I will solve all the problems of this club, even
Quite a tricky phase for Manchester United, but maybe the solution is not to repeat the same mistakes. Amorim may not have results on his side or the wins to back his case, but the angry voices against him really aren't the answer. Maybe the fans and the management need to give him one season and a full transfer window where he can pick and choose his players. Because the worst United setup clearly isn't working with his vision. Maybe they need to give their manager the players he needs. If not, then maybe more miscellaneous expenses for the frugal Ratcliffe ownership.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.